Hey, greetings, family. I'm in here. I'm gonna read some of this book, which just on the record some of the music, not music, some of the sounds of the book. So the book is called let's see, I messed up my title. We're gonna fix this. Reading. Okay, so all right, but and I have the feedback. Salute. Okay, I'm on here. We opened up the book. They talking about the I have ruled the seal, and he speaks on the Novus Ordo Seclorum represents the establishment of a new secret order, which was founded on ancient esoteric principles. Annuit Coeptis, which means that God has favored this undertaking and has blessed it with annual endowments of unlimited wealth. This great experiment. Although the Eurocentric view was that America became a great became that America became great because of God's blessings. In reality, this country emerged as an economic world power because of 400 years of free enslaved people's labor. All right, let's do this as well. We're gonna jump on the whole nother live for the time. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Boom. The history The history of this nation is truly unique. America is the only world power established on African principles. African principles. African people indigenous people was enslaved, and yeah, America is the only world power established on indigenous principles. Indigenous peoples were enslaved and forced to build this country in order to bring these principles into manifestation. Suffice it to say, without either of these two components, this nation would not be what it is today. There are numerous examples of the indigenous influence interwoven into the fabric of the United States of America. The prevalence of these examples is evidenced in Washington, D.C. During the many years that the author has resided in the metro D.C. area, he has identified a number of sites, such as monuments, parks, statues throughout the city, which are both architecturally and symbolically quietly commemorate of the indigenous contributions to this land, this nation. 2 years ago, he was on the Kathy Hughes Morning Show. He ended up presenting the program, so forth, that the Washington Afro American newspaper picked it up. He also went forward into writing that article. Somebody, Miss Murphy from the news from the morning show, wanted the writer Mr. Browder to create an article on the origins of the word Negro. And the first article, called "The Creation of the Negro," led to a biweekly column entitled "From the Browder File." And the Browder File was a collection of essays in which this book was published out of. So he goes on to say that the information contained in this book is designed to touch us, our consciousness, in a special way, and thereby stimulate thoughtful and meaningful discussions with friends and relatives and associates. He also includes references which will assist us in investigating certain subjects in greater detail, which he encourages us to do. Keep it going, keep it pushing. We must be mindful that just over 150 years ago, our people was enslaved. By law. We were forbidden from learning to read or write. The reasons why were very obvious, because information is power. The king of life is knowledge. Uh, uh, Information holds the key. Key in life is knowledge. Information holds the key to freedom from mental and physical bondage. Hey, Mo. If you deny any people the knowledge of their history and culture, you deny them the ability to develop their full potential. Information is power. We must be ever mindful to the fact that the time we have here on earth provides us with lifelong opportunity to gather information and use it to improve the quality of our lives. Hey, hey. I'm reading from this book, getting some words in before I go out today. The last paragraph says it is the responsibility of every adult to know their history and culture, to preserve it and then pass it on to the next generation. The youth got the responsibility of using that knowledge, assuming our rightful place in history, and then passing this information on to the next generation. This is an obligation, not a luxury. The information is power. Information provides you with the food for thought necessary to free your mind. Use it. Anthony Tony Browder, December 21st, 1988. So Elder Tony Browder told us we control what we gotta do. Hey, greetings, Jeff.
You all right, dude?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I will be there in time. I'm not on the way yet, but I'll send you a message when I'm on the way.
All right. I have to do something at 11:30. So would you like to pick a different day this week?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. We can talk about it another time when it's convenient to you. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Catch you later, man.
Adios. Okay, studio cancel. We're gonna keep reading. Preface. Pause due to core connection now. So where I'm gonna start at with this book is the preface. And on the preface it says, it has been 11 years since the publication of From the Browder File and 13 years since these essays first appeared in the Washington Afro-American paper. This is from Elder Asa G. Hilliard, who wrote the introduction. He's going to tell us a bit about uh, uh, Elder Browder. He's going to talk to us about, actually, looking at this, uh, okay. This is the preface. He's talking about the book. We got the author's introduction, which I just read. Okay, I already read Asa G. Hilliard's introduction. This is the preface from Mr. Tony Browder. It's been 11 years since the book came out, which was 1989. Boom, boom. 11 years since the publication of the book. Let me tell you. Okay, this book was published in the year 1989. It was revised in the year 2000, republished. Okay, so this is a 2000 book, and in 2000 it came out, and 11 years ago it was published in '89. This is also to me, bro. Kofi Kivante, born in Friday. Salute the other brother, and the on the Potomac, Egypt on the Potomac, uh, 2017 field trip. Yeah, so if y'all in DC, tap in with the other brother about the DC on the Potomac. So let's get into this preface. He tells us 11 years ago in '89, the book was published. 13 years ago, the essays appeared in the Afro American paper. The book was published in '89. The Browder File remained a perennial bestseller. That means every year this book was a bestseller because of the timelessness of the message, in which the ease, which it can be read. You can read this mud in a day. You know what I'm saying? These little essays can slide through. Due credit must be given to Mrs. Frances Murphy, the publisher of the Washington Afro, who instructed this first time writer. He was a new writer. She instructed bro to keep his columns 13 to 15 paragraphs in length, with 2 to 3 sentences per paragraph and 12 to 15 words per sentence. She gave him the sauce. That's key. I need to underline this. Oh, as I begin to write and give y'all this power. Washington Afro, we could say a Nashville Afro, and then we're gonna go just the key 13 to 15 paragraphs, 2 to 3 sentences per paragraph, 12 to 15 words per sentence. Paragraph, sentence, words within the paragraph. That's a formula. Keep going. Goes on to say, Mrs. Murphy's directive helped him to edit his thoughts and learn to write in a clear and precise manner. In addition, his background in art and design made it easier to learn and draw pictures with words so that my readers could see and feel what he thought and heard, thought and felt. So he learned the word clues, how to tie them in, then also he already knew how to get the pictures right just from being a imagist. Over the years, numerous bookstore owners have told me that they constantly recommend from the Browder file to customers who are looking for an introduction to Black history. Thousands of students, educators, and adults have thanked me for opening their eyes to the glorious history of indigenous people. In truth, thanking him, they are really thanking the many people who opened his eyes and molded his thinking. He's the one person out of many who run the relay race for our race, who run the relay race for our race. So basically, he's saying, y'all thanking me for the book, but there's plenty of people that I thank for my book. So I'm just a link in the chain. So keep it going. Realize that you got to keep going. It's a relay race. The baton was passed to him many years ago, and he's gonna continue running to the best of his ability before passing the baton to another. In the end, he's confident that we'll surpass those who thought that they had fixed the race to their advantage. We will be victorious. We run today so that others will walk in dignity and peace tomorrow. He said, we're doing this work so hard right now so that the next generation ain't got to work so hard that they can, but they working on something else. There are those who are no longer in the race. They are now coaching from the higher realm and removing obstacles from our path. I'm proud to have participated in this great and mighty race with teammates. Now he giving big ups to the elders, to the ones that cleared the path, the ones that came before us. Our elders such as John G. Jackson, Hatup, John Henry Clark, Hatupu, Charcy McIntyre, Hatup, and Listerville Middleton, Hatupu, Hatup, Hatup, Hatup. I'm pouring libations for y'all. Pouring libations. Wow. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise for the elders there. For temple, for all them. John G. Jackson, John Henry Clark, uh, Miss McIntyre, for temple, and List of Governors. The temple, I will keep going. That wisdom, guidance, friendship, and love have encouraged me, encouraged him, and sustained him through his race, which became his life. Second page of the preface. There are no spectators in life, and as Les Brown, the motivator, Hatup says, either you on the way or you in the way. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna sit on the sidelines and watch. We is in the spiritual warfare. We are in literal physical war. They physically bonded our ancestors, and now we is out here reading and on the internet. So make sure that you tap in. You either on the way or you in the way. The race for freedom, justice, and equality begins first in the mind. And either you are conscious of this fact or you are not. If you're conscious, if you're aware, if you're hip, if you know what's going on, we encourage you to keep your mind free and make the most of every hour of your existence. If you are unconscious and unaware that you are the constant victim of mental drive-bys, read this book from the Browder file and enjoy seeing your world through new eyes. So this ain't even no shade. If you don't get it, you ain't hip, then no, it's a key. This can be your key. That ankh right there. It can unlock your mind. Just use it as a perspective. You don't even gotta believe it. Just put the glasses on one time and see what you see. Elder Browder is a firm believer that knowledge is power, but he also knows that wisdom comes with the thoughtful application of knowledge, which empowers one to become conscious of newly emerging realities. Now, Pete, that's a deep sentence right there. It ain't too deep, but this is where you have to learn that as you read a book like this, we gonna have to bust things down. So he's a firm believer that knowledge is power. So we need to know one that he a believer. But in believing something, you giving up your power. That's a be la vie, be the lie that lives, right? So there is some sort of thing that he's having faith in, something bigger than him, greater than him, outside of himself that he is assuming. That's the belief. He's a firm believer, in which is what is that thing? Knowledge is power. So even if he don't know that knowledge is power is a fact, he has yet to prove the hypothesis undoubtedly true. He believes it and applies it to his life with faith. You know what I'm saying? He's a firm believer in this fact, in this supposed fact. Knowledge is power. Okay. He goes on to say that wisdom, he knows. So beyond his belief, he says, I also know that wisdom comes with the thoughtful application of knowledge. And to me, in my background knowledge, my foreground knowledge, I know that wisdom is the two. You got one, two, three. It's easy as one, two, three. Knowledge, wisdom, overstanding, understanding, understanding. That's hip hop word to the gods in the earth. Knowledge coming from the 5%ers, the poor righteous teachers. They coming out of Islam, the nation. We got like, it's a long tradition, but it's hip hop right there. So then he's saying too, wisdom comes with the thoughtful application of knowledge. So wisdom is defined as the application of knowledge. Knowledge is knowing it, one plus one. Then when you apply it, that's equals two. It's wisdom. What you gonna do with them two? Well, I got one over here, one over here. I'm gonna apply it and I'm gonna hold this up. You know what I'm saying? So you can see me on two sides. I can put two in one hand, but my wisdom tells me to apply the knowledge of one and one in a way to where I'm being seen. So that's an application. That's not what he's saying, but that's how I apply this itself. So I know that wisdom comes with the thoughtful application of knowledge. Next part, which empowers one to become conscious of newly emerging realities. So who's one? One could be me, one could be you, the listener or the speaker. It empowers a person to become conscious, to be aware of new stuff, newly emerging realities, new paradigms, new perspectives, new realness, new realities. So he's saying that as you apply this knowledge, your world can change. We are currently standing on the threshold. That means we standing on the edge. We standing on the precipice. We standing at the take one more step. You know what I'm saying? This Tennessee over here, that's Kentucky. We standing at the threshold. We in the house, out the house. That's the doorway. You know what I'm saying? We standing at the threshold. We are standing on the threshold of a new millennium. Millennium is 1,000 years. That's an age. To 2000 for the 99 and the 2000. That's December 31st. You know what I'm saying? It's a threshold of the new millennium, which offers new realities. Shout out to Naeem Akbar, new visions for new reality, new realities for visionaries who understand, and overstand where they are, where they came from, and where they wish to go. Again, this is deep, but shout out to Elder Anderson. Oh, he go by Willis, Bruce Willis, the family. That's the Sankofa bird, the Dinka, the Ghanaians. You know, we're gonna get into that, the indigenous. But that bird means it's not taboo to go back and fetch it. So when he says here at the end, we are currently standing on the threshold of a new millennium, of a new age. The new age offers new realities for visionaries, for people to see. The new age offers growth for those willing to see it, those who understand where they are, who know they present, you know what I'm saying, where they feet at 10 toes, who aware of where they at right now, who know where they came from. With Marcus Garvey, a people without knowledge of their past history, origin, culture is like a tree without roots. You got to know where you stand at to know where you're going. You know where you came from, really know you stand at, know where you came from, and know where you're going. Boom. And the last one, where they came from and where they wish to go. And that's destiny, that's power, that's willpower. All right, we're still on the second page of the preface. Let's keep it going. We got two paragraphs down into the third one. While most of the world celebrated the new millennium on January 1st, I told you new millennium on January 1st, 2000, others knew, so he rewrote this in the year 2000 with the new millennium. That's where all this millennium talk is coming from. Thank you, Sunflower Bakehouse. While most of the world celebrated the new millennium on January 1st, 2000, others knew because there was no year zero. So others knew beyond those people that celebrated. Those others knew that the real millennium would not occur until January 1st. 2001. So that's a paradigm shift. Even though y'all celebrated the new millennium on 2000, that 10 was really a part of the first set. The year 1 through 10 is 10 years. There's no year 0. Even though we count it like that, in practicality we did not live like, oh, what year is it? 0. There's a year 2000, which is technically 10 to the first one. So in this sense, he's saying that the people who actually had an awareness beyond the knowledge of 0 to 9 is 10 years. The awareness of the application, the wisdom that 1 to 10, or that 1991 to 2000 is the 10 years of that decade, or that the year 1 to the year 2000 is the year 1 2000, and the year 1001 to the year 2000 is another millennium. So he's saying that the people who were aware that the real millennium won't occur until January 1st, 2001. What else happened in 2001? Okay, keep going. Also, remember what day did that happen on September 11th? Okay, then what else happens on 2001? The new millennium, right? But what else happens on September 11th is the inundation. So that's what's on the Yeshu. It's the inundation of the Nile, of the Abe. Yeah, come on, the Mississippi. Come on, okay. Consciousness determines your reality, your awareness, your mindset. This up here determines everything out here. If you're a Muslim, the year 2000 won't occur for another 580 years. So even if you read out of this book, the Quran, and that's your purview, your consciousness, your perspective. The year 2000 that these folks celebrated, that's really 2001, it ain't gonna come for another 600 years. Take away 20. If you're a Hebrew, the year 6000 is only 40 years away. So it's like we on different timelines. If you are a religious scholar, you would know that due to miscalculations in the Christian calendar, the second millennium occurred in the mid 1990s. What is your reality, people? What is real? Because this person that you pay taxes next to, the Muslim, or this person you pay taxes next to, the Christian, or this person you pay taxes next to, the Hebrew, all of y'all signing y'all checks. You know what I'm saying? November 4th, 2024, knowing that based on the calendar is a different time. What is your reality? Next paragraph. Fourth one down, page 22, Roman number 22, preface. Time is a construct created by humans in order to orient them to a different reality. When you buy into someone else's time, you also buy into their reality. Elder John Hilliard Clark reminded those who would listen that history is the clock that people use to tell their political and cultural time of day. What clock are you using? We got to bring back the highlights of it. John Hilliard Clark, the Temple History. We also gonna go up here and get this quote from Les Brown, the motivator. Either you on the way or you in the way. This was the sentence that he really said. So this whole preface right here is collapsing space and time within a few paragraphs. The Browder, he's strong for that one. I'm also gonna highlight the names of these elders here. Of course, we know them. I know them, John G. Jackson, but highlighting them off the page is important for the next person who comes and reads this book to know that these names are incredibly crucial. My future self also remember that. Rob member, man, salute. Highlighters are important as we read, family. Okay, connect. We here, fifth paragraph down. 1, 2, 3. Did you know that Africans in the Nile Valley were the first humans to divide the day into 24 hours? Did you know that the word hour was derived from the African word Heru, which represents the sun, the first timekeeper. Did you know that the movement of the sun and all celestial bodies follow precise mathematical paths through the heavens, which can be projected backward or forward in time with pinpoint accuracy? In other words, everything in the universe happens on time, and to be out of time with the universe is to be out of sync with the very forces of creation. Respectfully, again, movement of the sun, the celestial bodies follow precise mathematical paths through the heavens, which can be projected backward and forward with precision. Everything in the universe happens on time, and to be out of time with the universe is to be out of sync with the very forces of creation. Heru represents the sun, the first timekeeper, movement of the sun, celestial bodies, precision. Huh. It's on the clock, invisible lines. Prince Magoo, salute. Hey, we in here reading. Okay, page 22, Roman numeral. Did you know that CP time was created for colored people by their masters in order to ensure that they would be habitually out of sync with creation? CP time, he's saying CP time is the diabolical plot against our people to be off schedule. So I got claiming I'm on CP time, black folks gonna be late, blah blah blah. This is designed by the enemy. It's what he said. Okay, don't be deceived by what you think you see, because even a broken clock, a stopped clock, is right twice a day. If you are using a political and cultural timeline other than your own, you could be squandering 1,438 out of the 1,440 minutes which you are given in each day. Time is on your side only if you know how to use it. So in this paragraph, the elder Browder is telling us that time is a construct, right? But also that CP time was constructed specifically for us to be out of sync intentionally through deception. And so even if we're using the clock that we didn't create, we still can be right twice a day. But that's still giving us 1,438 minutes where we wrong. So even if we write twice a day, we still off foundationally over and over again. So our day time is being wasted. But it's saying time is on your side if you know how to use it. So just swap the paradigm, a paradigm shift into what works. You don't have to do no drastic shift in plans, move into another country, all that changing jobs, just shift the perspective. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So he goes on to say in the 1900s, W.E.B. Du Bois stated that the problem of the 20th century would be the color line. Hey, I got something on this. That the problem of the 20th century would be the color line. And in recent years, that's a reference. I say that the problem of the 21st century would be the technology line. Folks know that from bowling. In recent years, Asa Hilliard has informed us that the problem of the 21st century will be okay. Asa Hilliard, his is different. 21st century will be to be African or not to be. And that's interesting because right now, so many of us, after watching Obama do his hijack, is knowing that we're not African, right? We knowing the indigenous roots of our planet here on Turtle Island. But I'm gonna keep going. This is a long way of saying we got more to do. Du Bois, Hilliard, and Browder. In both instances, color and culture are determined by consciousness. Africans who have been renamed colored, Negro, or black are still Africans. The first human to walk on earth and develop language, law, science, architecture, and God concepts were also African. To be African is to be. Now, me personally, I would extend this to indigenous. Indigenous have been the indigenous Americans have been renamed colored, Negro, or black, and are still indigenous Americans. The first humans to walk Earth and develop language, law, science, architecture, and God concepts are also indigenous to this land. Atlantis, Lemuria, Turtle Island, Hawk Island. We over here. To be indigenous is to be. This book was originally written to help make indigenous people aware of who we are and who we really were. In this revised edition, of the Browder file. I've updated some of the original essays and added new commentaries to others. The references have been updated to keep the material as timely as possible. Because this book has served as a primer for so many, I have also written 4 new essays in order to address issues of personal and social significance. They are It's About Time, The Skin I'm In, From Miseducation to Education, and Color, Culture, and Consciousness, just like this last one. This last one is really work right there. That's work for us to do, for me to do. Salute, Magoo. Continues on. He's talking about the book and why he rewrote it. Again, it was written originally in 1989. He republished it in 2000. He's saying if you're reading this book from the Browder file for the first time, prepare your mind for a wondrous adventure and remember the words of a famous physicist who stated that a mind exposed to a new idea never returns to its original condition. Basically, once you stretch it out, man, it ain't gonna bounce back. It was stretched for sure. You heard me. So go and learn you something new. But once you learn it, you can't unlearn. But once you see new, once I've been made aware of the truth, I cannot fall back into my ignorance. If we think about the Matrix, right? You had Brother Cipher. He wanted to get out the Matrix, but then once he got out and realized he woke up and he was in Zion with Mouse and all them, Morpheus on the ship, the Nebuchadnezzar, man was toe up, right? He's like, nah, I want to go back into the Matrix, man. I miss my Gucci. I miss the illusion. He wanted to taste the steak. You remember Cypher wanted to taste the steak, but repeat, bro, you can't go back to sleep. Once you woke, you cannot go back to sleep. So go on and tap in. He said, boom, you a mind exposed to a new idea never returns to its original condition. You stretch the neck out on your shirt, you ain't gonna get it back. If you've already read from the Browder file, then read it again for the first time. You will discover new insights and hopefully understand the symbolic significance of those 4 new essays. And salute, yes, sheesh, right? This is just 2 pages in. We got 2 more paragraphs in this introduction. I'm gonna swap over, and actually, I'm gonna talk about how to read, how to use the book, but I'm gonna skim through that. Okay, these last 2 paragraphs. He says the last century has been one of the most remarkable in human history. Indigenous people throughout the world have lived through some of the most soul-stirring periods since the beginning of time. He's talking about from 1901 to 2000. We are now standing at a critical juncture in the future development of human consciousness. We are poised to move into a period of profound mental transformation and spiritual growth, or we can regress into a new age of darkness. Where we go and what we do is in our hands. If we choose to make, final paragraph, if we choose to make the effort to free our minds and know ourselves, we will manifest the consciousness to restore truth, justice, and righteousness to the world. That's my in the world. If we choose the right path, if we choose to do the work, the shadow work to free our minds and know ourselves, we're gonna manifest. We're gonna bring you forth to light from darkness, consciousness. We're gonna restore truth, justice, righteousness in the world. We have always had the potential to create the world we desire, whether we've known it or not. We always had the power. We could do this forever and ever, whether we want to or not. Whether we are aware of our power or not, we got it. It's in us. It's in us, not on us. Boom, I done paused. That's the battery. Hey, salute. He said, if we choose to make the effort, if we choose to do the work to free our minds and know ourselves, we will manifest the consciousness to restore the earth, the truth, justice, and righteousness in the world. That's my last 2 sentences. We have always had the potential to create the world we desire, whether we know it or not. Whether we know it or not, we got this power. Last sentence. Now it's time to develop that desire and act on it. He said the time is now. And that was Anthony Tony Browder in 320, March 20, the 20th of March in the year 2000. Okay, again, family, good. Thank y'all for stepping in. This is from the Browder File. You can follow Anthony Browder, Elder Browder here on Instagram at Tony Browder. Just search Anthony Browder. He published his book. I got it from him when I took the Egypt on the Potomac field trip in the year 2017, maybe 2016. I went out there. I bought the book from him. This was November 14th, 2016. Elder Browder signed my book and he let me know, boom. Bro, Kofi, me fighting under the king, the spells and so forth, just being lazy. I'm just not getting to the book. Crack it open. How to use this book. And again, this is an intro. This is a series I'm gonna do. I'm going to go through and read all of the chapters of this book. They're essays, 22 essays. He uploaded 4 extra essays and republished in 4,000 in the year 2000. But going through the book, we can see some of the um, just words. Let me just pop out show y'all some of the images as you come through. So we're gonna talk about the Olmecs, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayas. We're gonna talk about some of these symbols that they use on us in our mind, brains, drugs, and so forth. We're gonna end up rapping and talking about psychology, consciousness, parentage, inner child, some Jungian stuff. I'm sure we will also talk about sports and collective consciousness, groupthink. We'll end up rapping about sports and the African Americans, how they, Super Bowl and so forth. We're gonna talk about hair, you know what I'm saying? Good hair, bad hair. This is just a preview for folks that want to tap in. We're gonna get into some of this consciousness of the eye, how we see ourselves, the eye of Heru, eye of Ra. That's looking at a sense of sight, things that's important. Talk about Akhenaten, the one that wanted Obama try to be like, get the sun rays and paying homage to the sun. We're gonna talk about melanin and some of the specific details of how this chemical functions in our body, brain, and so forth. But yeah, free your mind, family. I'm gonna wrap this video up by talking about how to use the book. Again, I'm just gonna skim through this for anybody in the future progeny who wants to learn and jump on this path with Elder Browder. How to use this book. Information has the ability to inspire you, to make you excited, and give you the strength and courage to complete many difficult tasks in life. All the things that I will share with you, you already know. It's in your DNA. It's in the Akashic records. You already got it. The only thing that I am doing, this is the author, Elder Browder. The only thing that I'm doing through the presentation of material in this book is jogging your mind. Everything that you need to know, everything that there is to know is already ingrained within your memory banks. It's simply a matter of creating the proper mental attitude, tapping into that source of information, and allowing the answers to come through to you. The process for personal development, as outlined in Stolen Legacy, was referred to as the 10 virtues. The first three virtues are of primary importance. They are: one, control of thought; two, control of action; and three, steadfastness, fortitude. So that's something that we do need to tap into, family. I'm gonna come in here on another series, and we will read the Stolen Legacy by George James. Yeah, George James. It's a golden book with Tutankhamun on the front. I would get up and show you, but it's right over there. I know I got it on the shelf. Stolen Legacy, and he has an article in Stolen Legacy called "The 10 Virtues." Elder Browder here is highlighting to us the importance of those first three virtues. Again, we're gonna highlight them. Number one, control of thought. Number two, control of action. And number three, which is of primary importance to Elder Brother, coming from Elder James, is steadfastness or fortitude. That means consistency. Keep it going. The control of your thoughts allows you to select from myriad ideas, which will determine your course of action. So when you do number one, when you on number one, controlling your thoughts, it allows you to select from your ideas, which is going to determine number two, the course of action. Life is indeed a trip, and how well you plan that trip determines how fast and in what condition you will reach your destination. Hey, there's a bar. Man said life is indeed a trip, and how well you plan for that trip determines how fast and in what condition you'll reach your destination. All of the things that you do in life, your actions are a direct result of the choices you make through your thought processes. So number two, all your number twos come from your number ones. You can't get on your wisdom without Number one. Okay, running back from the beginning, brother said the control of your thoughts allows you to select from a myriad of ideas. Beginning before that, I'm gonna just start at the top of the page. How to use this book, and we're just gonna run it. Information has the ability to inspire you, to make you excited, and give you the strength and courage to complete many difficult tasks in life. All of the things that I will share with you, you already know. The only thing that I'm doing through The only thing that I'm doing through the presentation of material in this book is jogging your mind. Everything that you need to know, everything that there is to know is already ingrained in your memory banks. It's simply a matter of creating the proper mental attitude, tapping into that source of information, and allowing. Wait, my boy. Okay, everything that you need to know, everything that there is to know, everything is already ingrained in your memory banks. It's simply a matter of creating the proper mental attitude, tapping into the source of information, and allowing the answers to come through to you. The process for personal development, as outlined in the Stolen Legacy, was referred to as the 10 virtues. The first three virtues are of primary importance. They are one, the control of thought, two, control of action, and three, steadfastness, fortitude. The control of your thoughts allows you to select from a myriad of ideas which determine your course of action. Life is indeed a trip, and how well you plan your trip determines how fast and in what condition you'll reach your destination. All of the things you do in your life, your actions are a direct result of the choices you make through. What's up, brother Omar? I see you requesting to join. I am interested in having you join, but let me finish reading through this and I'll bring you on stage. Okay, boom. The control of your thoughts can allow you to select. So boom, if you do number one, you can get to number two. If you do number two and your actions, you keep doing that consistently over and over, that's going to lead you into the right path for your destination. All the things that you do in life, your actions are a direct result of the choices you make through your thought processes. Steadfastness, aka fortitude, is the ability to chart and maintain a steady course in life. All the things you do in life are a direct result of the choices. Boom. So all of your number twos, your actions come from your number one, which is gonna lead you into number three, the fortitude, which is the ability to chart and maintain, to plan. When he said life is a trip and how well you plan for that trip. So number three is the planning. That's the steadfastness. The steadfastness is the ability to chart and maintain on that plan, that steady course in life. The essays in this book are presented as road maps. These guidelines can direct our thinking in a progressional manner, in a forward moved and try forward manner, which will ultimately lead to self awareness and self determination. Yeah, he be having some bars in here talking about life is a trip and how well you plan for that trip determines how fast and in what condition you will reach your destination. Boom. So in the essays in the book, they guidelines to get you there. He said this gonna get you there. We begin with the question, who are you? And it says, what was the creation of the Negro? Huh? What was the creation of the Negro? And how has that creation affected you and your thinking? So you start with the question, who are you? The article is the creation of the Negro. How has that creation of the Negro affected us in our thinking? Next, we examine the primacy of the African and the indigenous as the mother of mankind. So that's the second article, Mother of Mankind, and the impact of that reality. So first, who are you? Talking about the creation of the Negro. Second, who's your mama? Where you come from? Next paragraph, we go on to restore dignity to quote unquote blackness and the black man and woman in America by presenting insightful information. So this right here, he going through telling us what each of these is about in the sentence, each of his articles and why they in that order. So third one is blackness, black man and woman in America, and the article is called "On the Color Black." A positive attraction to blackness leads to the desire to identify with African American heroes and sheroes and to the resurrection of the African spirit. So this article is important to give us positive vibes for the he's and hers, the heroes and sheroes of our history and past. It also gives us it pushes up the pride in our in our spirit, in our collective identity. He goes on to say the ability to identify with an ancestral legacy establishes the capacity to recognize and confront the problems of the present and future. A firm foundation is always required for the building of any superstructure, and the deeper the foundation, the taller and firmer the structure will stand. Right. So the deeper you go, the taller you can build the building. I heard that from Lauren Hill. So he basically saying the more we know ourselves, our past, and where we came from, how we got to where we at right now. That's how far we can go. We can the farther we dig, the higher we can climb. Uh, so the deeper the foundation. Let's say they building a building downtown, they got to blow deep down into that earth. That's how they found the predators. You know what I'm saying? That's how they found the saber-tooth tiger and those bones in the mounds that they call the Nashville Predators and the Tennessee Titans. In the mounds, they use sound to do that. But in the thing, they got to build them buildings deep, 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 deep down, about 10, 20 feet. Look at it, you go downtown and peer off into them, you're going to see they got foundations deep. But that's how you know they're going to build a skyscraper super tall. But also realize they got to dig that deep because there's tunnels underground. It's a whole other video. But they got tunnels down there going from building to building. So yeah, they gonna build these tall skyscrapers and also have the underground city chain. But the city's on top of the older city. That's not really tunnels. Them was the old roads. But let's go. He keep talking about the firmer. He says a firm foundation is always required for the building of any superstructure. And the deeper the foundation, the taller and firmer that structure will stand. Next paragraph. With the historical references firmly established, the remaining essays, so those first three essays are the creation of the Negro, the mother of mankind, and the color on the color black. Those first three essays are historical references that will firmly establish our foundation of who we are and how high we're going. The remaining essays in this publication will allow us to examine some of the most pertinent issues facing us today from a much broader perspective. So the first three get us set up. That's the foundation. The rest is building up. Then comes the hard part. That is the integration of this new information. So he giving us the old paradigm where we come from, and he's setting up our foundation. So now he's presenting us with this is the information that is going to push us into having a new paradigm, which he says is the integration of this new information. Boom, boom. Without a doubt, melanin is one of the most important topics to be discussed in the 21st century. We must now we must begin now to understand the critical issues concerning the psychological and spiritual attributes of melanin and the role it will play in the survival of the human race. We must begin today to prepare for our future. Now is the time to start building your ark. You don't want to wait until the rains come before you begin thinking about survival. A good set of blueprints is always necessary for the development of any project, and I would like to offer you a set of working plans. There are 7 suggestions I strongly recommend you consider and factor into your daily routine. Okay, here's the keys, y'all. 7 keys, and I'm gonna wrap this video up. Number 1, you have to begin to unlearn all that you have learned. If you have been miseducated, as Carter G. Woodson stated in the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, book reference, then you have to unlearn everything that you have been taught. Next, you got to drain the swamp, family. Next, you must fill that empty void with accurate knowledge and information. 2, as you go through this process of exposing yourself to new information, you'll have the tendency to get excited and to have a sort of natural high. You'll want to run out and share this knowledge with friends and loved ones. You cannot convert everyone. People will grow when it is time for them to grow. In the meantime, you love them, you appreciate them, and you help them when you can. The whole purpose of this information is to reshape your thinking and to increase your potential for good. Basically, number 2, you can't go out proselytizing just because you're getting some new dope. You got some good dope. Don't try to get everybody hooked to your new dope, bro. Enjoy that pack. You feel me? Get what you need. You ain't got to spread it. Okay, boom. Number 3, once you begin to integrate this information into your daily activities, your life will become an example for others. When you do the right thing, then good will come to you. You must constantly affirm the principles of karma in your life. So basically, you don't got to go out and teach it. It's gonna become you living will become a living example. It's like when we talk about the bodhisattvas, the Buddha, the bodhisattva on the path, he didn't have to go out and change it, but him living made the Buddha land around him, just exuding that energy, made plants and flowers grow. So just stay on your deen, family. Alhamdulillah. Number 4, attune yourself with nature and your environment. You must be conscious of the things that go on around you and their effect on you mentally, physically, and spiritually. By increasing your level of sensitivity and awareness, you will be able to get through times of stress and strain and keep your soul intact. So number 4 is take care of yourself, self-care, stay in tune with nature, be aware of the sunrise and sunset, go to sleep, wake up, boom, boom. I ain't gonna, okay, my last thing on that, number 4, is to remain aware. Don't go to sleep to what's going around you. Yes, an election. Yeah, it's a war in Palestine. Be aware. Don't go. Yeah, I'm in hermitage, but don't go so deep into hermit mode that you forget you're part of the world. But also take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Realize that all that stuff going on has an effect on us mentally, physically, spiritually. Increasing our sensitivity to be aware of it don't mean that we have to take it in and take it on, but we do need to be abreast of it. We do need to be aware of it. But that awareness is going to get us through the stress and strain and not have us sink under it. It's going to keep our soul intact, family. So stay sharp, but don't get cut. Number 5, so we say increasing your level of sensitivity. Boom. Number 5 says understand the significance of melanin. This is a gift from the Creator which serves to protect the body and makes communication with higher levels of consciousness possible. This is a blessing, and we are blessed people. It is important that we know who and what we are. It is also important that we do those things necessary to maintain and enhance these blessings. Family, that dark skin, that melanin is crucial. Dig into it. We're gonna dig deep. I got some more books on here. We're gonna talk about melanin from a scientific, spiritual, tangible perspective. Not just look at my black card. It's no like tap in, meditate, zone in. All that. We're gonna get there. Number 6, learn the benefits of fasting and meditation. Positive attributes are available through the regular practice of these two activities. You are a product of what you eat and think, and your body responds to both. So, therefore, it is important to monitor what you put into your body as well as what you put into your mind. Number 6, family, fast and meditate. Number 7, manifest the creative potential that exists within you. Create, family, create. It is the source of all power and the key to life. You must also continue to use this creative energy on a regular basis, for if you don't, you will surely lose it. So, number 6, fast and meditate. Number 7, publish, produce, create. And finally, how to use this book. He's saying, enough said. If nothing more is accomplished, I would like to think that the essays contained in this book will make you stop and think about yourself and how to exercise greater control over your life and through the acquisition and utilization of good information. Look at it this way: the quality of your life is determined by how you use this information. Use it wisely. Thank you, family, for jumping in. I will wrap this up. I land my plane on the fact that this book is crucially important. I bought it in the year 2016. It's been 8 years. In a week, in the 2 weeks, it'll be 8 years. I've had this book sitting on my shelf. The farthest I made it into this book it's about 5 pages. It ain't no shame on me, but I'm telling y'all, get the book. Let's read it together. If you need the PDF, hit me up. I probably can get that for you. But also, if you want the actual book, I'm gonna tag Elder Browder in it. Um, I'm gonna tag Elder Browder here. Reach out to him. He will mail you the book personally. If you need the book faster than that, go to a Kibalon, the yellow store. They got it. If they don't got it, they'll send it to you. I would say hit up Elder Browder himself, put the money in his pocket, hit up his daughter Atlantis, get the book. We're gonna go through this book, family, for the next week. It's 22 essays in here. I'm gonna do one a day. We're gonna get in here, we're gonna run through it. Next up, we got other books, man. I appreciate y'all, brother Omar, brother Miguel, you know what I'm saying? Holy Wind, my mama, Atlantis Turtle, Brother Kazi, Eurosuki, Ryan, Ali Shaw, Ralph Calhoun. Brother Omar, I know you want to jump on here. I'm actually going to close this down. I'm going to open another live so that way this can be contained. If you do want to jump in and say something, go ahead and type it in the comments now. Otherwise, I think my discretion says let's make another video for our chat. Family, I love y'all. Salute. Oh yeah, this video is gonna be on YouTube as well because I know the Instagram kind of cut in and out with people calling me and so forth. Much love and gratitude. Temple. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these at the hour also as much as I can. Okay.